So hello everyone, welcome to Databricks SQL week day 2. So today we are going to cover the fundamentals of SQL, how we can create the table, what are the different types of SQL commands, DML, DDL, DQL. So we are going to cover all these aspects. Apart from this, we are going to get into the basics of Databricks platform, how we can use it, how we can you import the content from GitHub. We are not going to cover that in much of detail regarding the GitHub part because that's going to take some time to cover up. But yeah, we are going to quickly cover out most of the basics of Databricks SQL. So let's get started with it. Okay, so let me just jump back to the setup notebook. So before we get into it, let me quickly explain how to create a trial account. Okay, so you all have to visit this link. Let me just repaste it in the chat box. Please do this quickly with me. I will wait for 2 minutes for you to get into this link. So once you are here, click on sign up for free edition. Let me copy this link and open it from some other account. So once you click on this particular sign up button, you will get this option. I would strongly recommend you to use continue with Google. Once you click on continue with Google, it will ask you for the confirmation. Click on create new account. And select the location as India. And just click on continue. You can give any name to your account. So this is how you can create an account. I would say just click on this skip for now. Take a couple of seconds to set up this particular thing. All right, so we are inside the Databricks workspace. So once you are inside the Databricks workspace, okay, once you are inside the Databricks workspace, you can create notebook. So to create a notebook, simply go to workspace, click on create and click on notebook. There are a couple of things which we can, cover up here, but for now, just follow with me. I will cover up all the other aspects in the upcoming session. But for today, just understand about the notebook. So once you click on create notebook, you can simply give this a name like session 2 or something. So once you have given the name, here you can see here we have selected a compute. This is by default compute. I will discuss later how to change what we can do with all this stuff. This is not kind of agenda of this session. Okay. Now, once we have this cell, we can choose what we want to write. We can write my markdown, we can write SQL, we can write Python. In order to write SQL, there are two ways. First, you can write %SQL and then start writing your query. So notice once I wrote here %SQL, this automatically changed to SQL. Okay. The another way is simply change it from here. So these are two ways by which we can change the cell type to SQL and we can start writing SQL. So hope you guys have followed me till now. Hope it is clear till now. Okay. Whomsoever has created their Databricks account, just raise your hands from here. Whomsoever have created their Databricks account, simply raise your hand. If you are still in process, I will wait for 1 more minute. Only Yash has completed his account creation. Guys, okay, Sahil has also completed. Akshita, great. Okay, Rakshit has also. Okay, Manjay, Abhimanyu, Manikant. All right. So most of the people are on it. Janvi, Arya, Guneet, Shubhi, please create your Databricks trial account. Okay. Hope this is clear to you all. Let me just quickly get into the GitHub. So see, there is a way by which we can connect the GitHub to Databricks. I don't want to get into that for now. So I'm suggesting you a temporary method by which we can, use these notebooks into our Databricks. So simply go to this particular URL. This is the URL where you will be getting the complete detail of session. All the notebooks will be uploaded here. So once you get into this, just click on code and click on download zip. So what it will do, it will create a zip of the code. Just click on your zip, click on extract all. It will get extracted. So here you can see I have all the folders where we have notebooks. Now I will go back to my Databricks workspace. I will click on this import. Okay. So import from URL, import from file. So I will click on import from file. And I will select the notebook which I want to use. Let's suppose I want to use these two. So I can simply import this, and these two notebooks are imported. Cool. Hope things are clear so far. Okay. If anybody have any confusion, just please write in the chat box. That would help me to, expedite this process. All right. So we have imported our notebook. Now, how to run a notebook? So in order to run a notebook, there are a couple of ways. So precisely how to run a cell. Okay. So to run a cell, you can simply click on this run button, run cell button, or you can press shift enter. Okay. You can do like this. So inside this URL, we have a setup folder. Once you clone this, I would recommend you to clone this specific folder for now. Setup folder. Clone it for now. Or very precisely this setup notebook. So clone this setup notebook into your workspace. How to do that? Again, just click on import, browse, setup, click on import, and it is done. So once we are inside the setup notebook, for now, guys, don't try to dig into it. I will explain this maybe in the last session, or if required, you can go through it. But for now, I'm not covering up what all the things we are having here. Just click on this run all button. What it will do, it will create all the tables which are required for the upcoming session, what we are going to do, what are the data, what are the different sort of data on which we are going to play around. So it will create all those stuff which is required for the upcoming sessions and for the today's session as well. So it will take some time, maybe 5 minutes or so. So by the time it is running, what you can do, you can click on this plus sign and click on notebook. So it will create another notebook here. By the time it is running, we can start for today's session. Hope everyone has followed and everyone has created their Databricks account and executed their setup notebook. Okay, no questions in the chat. Fine. So let me just quickly get into the today's notebook. One second, guys. All right, let me just share the screen. Let me just also pull this here. SQL day 2. Yeah, hope the screen is visible to you all. All right. So before getting into so many details, so many things, I would like to understand. Hope you all are aware how to run this cell. What are the basic information required to run the Databricks notebook? So let me just quickly get started with it. So first of all, we need to create a table. Okay. So in order to create a table, we write something called as DDL. We write some commands of SQL which are called as DDL. DDL stands for Data Definition Language. Remember we talked about schema and constraints yesterday. So we define schema and constraints with the help of data definition language only. All right. So first of all, we will just run this cell. It is for now you can just understand it is to assign a catalog and a schema. I will talk more about it, what is catalog, what is schema in later sessions. But for now, just consider it as a mandatory step for you all. Cool. So DDL stands for data definition language. How DDL works? So for DDL, we write simply create. Create is a keyword. So how to create a table? First of all, we will write create. Okay, so it need to first switch to SQL. So I will write %SQL. Then I would write create keyword. Then I will write table. Then I will write the table name. Table name is, let's suppose, students. Okay, I have given the table name. Once I have given the table name, I will start the bracket. Then I will give the field name. Let's suppose field name is roll number and roll number of int type. Okay. Once I have given the field name, then I will type the data type and then I will put a comma. After that, I will get the second field. I will put a comma. After that, I will give the third field and I will not put a comma. So notice I have given the create keyword, I have given the table create table keyword, then I have given the table name, then I have given the field name, field data type, then again I have put a comma, then again a field name data type. But for the last column, I haven't put a comma because that's the last column. Cool. So let me just run it. It has returned okay. So it has created a table called as students. We can check that here. Inside the workspace, we have a catalog called as e-commerce. Inside the e-commerce SQL, you can see we have a table called as students. And inside this students table, we have different columns, roll number, name. You can see roll number is of integer type, name is of course class is of string. Cool. So this is a basic example of DDL by which we create a table. Perfect. Now, yesterday we talked about constraints, right? We talked about constraint that we need to, we need to put something like this should be not null, some rules to be associated with specific columns. Okay, let's do that. So before, okay, let's first do that. So let's create another table, or I want to modify this existing table. Okay, so this table is already existing. So first I need to drop this table. How to drop a table? I will write %SQL, then drop table and table name. I could have modified this as well, but for now, let's drop it. Okay, students is the name, my bad. Let's drop this table. And this table is dropped. Yeah, so here drop is a keyword. Again, table is drop table is specifically a keyword. And here we have given the table name. So we are dropping the table. Now, let's define again the table definition. I mean, let's define the DDL with the constraints. Cool. So let's quickly get into it. What I will do, I will again use create keyword, then table, then student is the name. And one thing important here, SQL is not a case sensitive language. It is not a space sensitive language as Python. So we can write in any case or any order, that does not matter here. Okay. So here I am giving roll number. Roll number is of what data type? In data type, and it is not null. Okay. Fine. Then we have name, which is not null. Then we have age, which is int. Then we have enrollment date as date. Okay. Now let's run this. Why we are getting this error? Why? Because this should be a SQL cell, but this cell is here is Python. So let me just change it. But we will again get an error because here the comment is in Python. So in SQL, we do the comment by dash dash. So with the help of dash, I have created this comment. Cool. Now let me just run it. All right, this is an extra character which is causing the problem. Let me run it. By the time, let me see chat. So hope it is clear till now, guys. You can DM me as well if you have any specific queries. I can't see any queries so far. All right, so things are clear. Let me jump back again to the window. Fine. So hope we are clear with the DDL, right? We are clear with the DDL. Let's get into the insert statements. So first of all, to insert, again, here we are in the Python. First, I need to switch to SQL. Then I need to change the comment here. Fine. So how to insert? So for what we use keyword insert. Then we write into. Then we write the table name. Here the table name is student. Cool. Okay, student is the table name. Then what we write? We write the column names. Here column is roll number. Then we have name. then we have age, then we have enrollment date. Fine. So here we have given the column names. Now after that, what we will write? We will write values. Values is a keyword. Then I will write one. I mean, whatever the values we want to give. Okay. This is giving auto suggestion, but I would strongly recommend you folks to stop the auto suggestion if you are really serious about learning, else you won't learn. Cool. So here we are giving the insert into keyword, then the table name, then the field names, and then the values after commas. I will run it. And here you can see number of rows affected is 1, number of rows inserted is 1. Fine. Now let's do a select star. So we are still in DDL, but there is something called as DQL. DQL is the query language. Query languages means the way by which we get into the data, the way by which we see the data. That is called as DQL. DQL stands for data query language. Okay. Here, this would be. This is how we make comment. Let me just write select star. Select is a keyword. Then star stands for all. When we want to select all the columns, we use star. Select star from students. So we have inserted one row. Let's see if we are able to see that. Perfect. We are able to see one row with roll number 1, John, age 20, enrollment date as this. So this is one of the simplest insert statement. Okay. Simplest insert statement. Now let's get into something interesting. Not interesting, but another way. We want to insert into the student table, but we don't want to give the column names. We can do that as well. What we will write? We will write insert into students. Oh, I am getting the error. Okay, table should be equal. Insert into student, then values, and I can give any value like this. Cool. And I will run it. Notice what is the difference between above and this. So in the first, we have given all the column names, but here we have not given the column names, and we are just running the insert directly. So this is also working fine. But what if I don't want to give value to a specific column? Then I can't use this way, right? Because how Databricks will understand that I don't want to insert into this particular column? For example, I want to insert here into student table and I don't want to give the age. Okay. So what I will do, I will remove age from here. I will remove the age from here. And here, let's suppose I give him row number 3. And I will insert and it should get inserted. Yeah, because there is no not null constraint. Let's see. Perfect. It got inserted. Now let me just query it. So there should be 3 rows. One should have age as null. For other, there should be ages. Yeah. Here you can see we have 3 entries. One for John, again for Jane and John. So here age is null because here we have not given the column age. So hope that is clear. If you want to insert the values into all the columns, we can simply just use the values and we can insert it. If you want to skip some column or you want to insert values into specific, then we can just give the column names. And there is some typo. It's not under DDL, it's DML. Okay. So insert comes under the DML because we have already defined the schema. So only schema definition comes under the DDL, but insert comes under the DML. So here we have queried it and we have already inserted. Now notice we are only inserting one row at a time, but we can insert multiple rows as well. So let's insert multiple rows. So again, insert into, then, okay, first let me change it to SQL. We will take care of this. We will change it by default while creating the notebooks, but for now, bear with us. Insert into, then the table name, students, okay, student, and then we will give the column names and we will give the values, and it will insert it. Okay, let's try to insert it. I want answer from you folks. Will this work? Will this work? Let me just drag it up. Yeah, this is my select. These are the information which we already have inside the table. Now I'm writing this insert statement. Will this work? Guys, awaiting response from you folks. Will this work? Manjay is saying no, it won't work. Don't know. If you don't know, just simply say I don't know. But please be proactive. Except Manjay, I'm expecting response from other folks. Guys, please do respond in the chat. Don't know. Not know. Okay. Cool. Thanks. So basically, it won't insert. This is something which we have studied yesterday. If you will see during the definition DDL, we have given a constraint that roll number should, okay, roll number, okay. So we should also give a constraint of primary key here, which we have missed. This should be the correct definition. This was, I was under the impression that we have given a primary key constraint here or unique constraint here. So that's why I was saying that it won't get inserted. So if we have given a unique constraint here, then this should have not get inserted because we already have roll number 3 inside the table. But for now, it will get inserted because we haven't given the constraint. Let's see. So yeah, 2 rows got inserted and we have total of 5 rows now. See. And the problem is we have not given the constraints. If we would have given this constraint or unique constraint, then this would have not get inserted. It won't overwrite because we are inserting, we are not updating. So someone just asked, will it overwrite? No, it will not overwrite. It will just insert because we are inserting, not updating. Fine. Now there is one more question that we are not using semicolon here. So ideally in traditional SQL, it is important to use the semicolon to end your SQL statement. But in this, we don't use semicolon as necessary. You may use, you may not use. It won't impact much. Okay. So let me just put semicolon. And if I will run, it will get executed. So basically semicolon is a terminator to terminate a specific SQL query, which is not necessary to be used inside Databricks. But in some languages, it is in some tools, it is really strict that you should use the semicolons. So it's a good practice to use semicolons. All right. So we are done with this DDL. we are done with insert. In insert, we have studied about how to insert values directly without giving the column names. In insert, we have studied about how to insert multiple rows at the same time. In insert, we studied how to insert a single row. So hope this is clear so far. Okay, I'm assuming it is clear. Let me jump ahead. Then we were covering the DQL. Okay, so inside the DQL, we have studied about select star. So from select star, okay. So once we are running the select star, basically select is a keyword. Star stands for all columns. We are getting all the columns: roll number, name, age, enrollment date. Perfect. Now I want to only select name. So if I want to select only name, what I will do, I will simply give the column name here. Select name from student. I want to select two columns. Perfect. I will put a comma and I will select another column as well. So here we have selected two columns, name and age at the same time. Now, let's suppose I want to give a different name to age column. Not to update into the database, but during the query. Okay, I want to get the output where age should be written as student age, not age. So I can use the alias. So let's quickly get into the alias here. So I will write select age as student, age from student. So you will see that I'm getting a age column only, but as student age, right? Let me select one more column here, name. So we use as keyword for alias. So if I want to give alias to any column, I will just use as. For example, for name, if I want to give an alias as a student name, so I will use an as keyword and then I will write student name. Okay. Okay, there is typo, but yeah, it works. Now, if I remember correctly, we can do that without as well. Okay, notice it properly. Let me just correct it, bro. And let's run it. And boom, we are getting the name as a student name, age as a student age without the as keyword. Why? How? So basically, as is a optional keyword used for giving alias. If you want to give an alias to any column, simply write the alias without a comma. If you will put a comma here, SQL will understand that this is a different column. But if you will not put a comma and if you will directly select, it will take student name as an alias. Sometimes what happens if we miss some commas, it gets complicated. How it gets complicated? Let me just show you. Let's suppose I wrote this query, okay, and I just executed it. Now I haven't put the comma here, notice it. Okay. So what you will see, the student names are given an alias of age. So you can understand a single missing comma could change the complete definition of what you're expecting. So if I will put a comma here, I will get name column and then the age column. So for alias, let me just repeat, as is an optional keyword, we can use it and we can not use it. If you don't want to use it, simply give the alias without the comma and that would be treated as an alias. If you want to give as keyword, that is also fine. So basically in traditional SQL, as was kind of compulsory, but in Databricks and some modern data warehouses, it is not necessary to use as. Cool. So we have used, basically we wanted to give alias here. Will it update the column name too? No. So Manje, here we are using DQL. So just keep it in mind. Whenever we are using DQL, it will never update anything inside the database. It will never update. What will happen? Whatever you are querying, you will just see that output. That won't update anything inside the database. Whatever is shown here, it will just be like that. Okay, let me just query without some alias. You will see there is no update happened. So whenever we are giving an alias or something, it won't update the database. It will just show it in the output. See here, roll number is like roll number only, name is like name only, age is like age only. So DQL never updates anything. Cool. All right. Now I wanted to get the distinct student names in my class. Let's suppose we have 2 Jones, right? I wanted to get how many distinct names are there in my classroom. So what I can do, or I want to get how many dates the students are enrolled into my class. Cool. Basically, I want to get the distinct dates, right? Only those dates which are different. Cool. So what I will do, I will again use DQL. Simply, I would write select. Then I will use the distinct keyword. Distinct. Then I will give the column name. Enrollment date from school. It will give me 2 rows. Okay. Now let me write another query and I want you folks to answer it. Okay, I have given this. Let me just zoom out a bit. Let me close this. It is already closed. Okay, let me put it in full screen. I have put a distinct keyword here. I have put column roll number. Then I have put enrollment number. Now tell me how many rows we will get in output. How many rows we will get in output? Yeah. 4 for roll number, 2 for dates. 2. Okay. Apart from Manja and Samiksha, I want others to answer, please. You can have some random guesses. That is fine. Nobody's giving you marks here. 4. Manikant, 2. Because see, if you will be interactive, you are puzzling your brain. When I will give you the correct answer and I will explain you why this is the correct answer, that will get into your mind. Okay, this is the reason, and that is why this is happening. Maybe 2 क्योंकि duplicate values भी avoid करेगा, right? Yeah, it will avoid duplicates. Okay, so it will give 4 rows. Let's run it. Yeah, it has given 4 rows. So see, what distinct keyword does it? Basically, it gives you the unique rows. Give you unique rows. First time we had selected only single column, right? For the single column, there were only 2 unique rows. One was for the 1st January, second was for the 2nd January. But when I selected roll number as well, you can notice this row is unique. If I take a combination of roll number and enrollment date, okay, 1 and 2022 1st January is unique. Second roll number with 2nd January is unique. Third roll number with 1st January is unique. Fourth roll number with 2nd January is unique. Third roll number with 1st January is not unique because if I take only roll number into the consideration, or even in fact, if I take both of these rows into the consideration, these two rows are duplicated, right? And I have only selected two columns. So on the basis of these two columns, it will remove the duplicates and it will only give me the required distinct values. Please note, it is not updating the database. It is just giving me the values. Clear? Give me a thumbs up. Yes, anything in the chat. Cool. Now let me ask another question here. I'm putting distinct star here. Okay. Now tell me how many rows I will get. But why 2 for enrollment? Why 4? Join to 3 times same value के साथ appear हो रहा आप 6.4. Okay. Join. Okay. See. Forget about name and age. Let's just take roll number and enrollment date. Okay. Now tell me how many distinct rows are there? Only 4, because row number 5 and row number 3 both are duplicate, right? Distinct keyword is used to remove the duplicates in the output of your query. So when I have used the distinct keyword with roll number and enrollment date, it will remove this duplicate. It will take either of these two because both are same, and it will give me 4 rows as output. Clear? Don't get into the order. Order could be anything. Fine. Now let's again get into the star. Now, if I run distinct star, tell me how many rows I am going to get. Five rows. 5 rows. Are we going to get 5 rows? Okay. 4, all 5 rows, 4 rows. Okay, just focus on, for those who are saying 5, just focus on these 2 rows. Are they different? They are not different. So we are going to get only 4 rows. Cool. Now last question, guys, then we will move ahead. I have used the distinct keyword here. Now I am giving name, giving age. Now tell me how many rows I am going to get an output. Distinct name and age. 2. Okay. 2, 4, 2. Guys, think of name and age. Before answering it, just in your mind, just select these 2 columns. Okay. Just select these 2 columns, name and age, in your mind. And think of distinct rows which are different from each other. The combination of name and age which are different from each other. How many different combinations you can see here? Just answer me how many different combinations you can see here out of 5. 4 different combinations. 4, 3. I can't see 3 because John and Jane are different. 4. Yes. So we are going to get 4 rows. Again 4 rows. Right? For null, Arya, see, null is there. I got you. If I would have selected age only, then possibly I would have get only 3 rows. if I would have run simply distinct age, I would have got only 3 rows because 3 distinct values are there, 20, 21, null. But here we are having name as well. So you can see Jane with null is one combination, Jane with age is one combination, John with null, John with null. These two are duplicates. So only one would be considered. And that's why we are getting 4 rows. Hope this distinct keyword is clear. Clear, right? Cool. Cool, guys. Let me just check. Awesome. Let's get into the another thing. So alias is also clear. We are clear with the distinct. Now we can also use distinct along with alias. Okay. So distinct age as a student age. So we can use all the sort of combinations which are there in DDL in single statement. So here we have used distinct as well. Here we have used alias as well. In fact, I can just remove this as well. It will work. And I can use the combination of as and without as well. It will also work. So here we are clear. The all unique parent ID values we have already done it. Okay. Now let's get into filtering conditions. First, we need to switch to SQL filtering conditions. सबसे पहले select start from students. AI is very smart. It is reading my mind. Cool. So here we have students. Fine. Now I want to get the name of student whose roll number is 1. Okay. So I want to get the name of student whose roll number is 1. Any questions, guys? I'm just looking at the chat. Okay, fine. Nothing here. So here, what we will do, we will use the where keyword. Okay. Then I will give the field name roll number equal to 1. So when I will run it, it will give me all the students who have roll number in 1. I can also give like where name equal to John, or just keep a note. We can't directly write string. So in order to write string, we have to put it in single quotes. So here 3 people are having name John. All right. We can also give roll number here, and we can again check for roll number 3. And I should get 2 rows. Now we can also pass a list inside the where clause. So here instead of equal to, I will write in, then I will give list of roll numbers which I want to check, or list of students which I want to get, or anything. So let me just put 1 and 2. So it will give me students who are having roll number 1 and 2. Okay. Now let's get into something interesting. Let me just show you guys the table. Now, for me, can you please write a query? I want to get all the students whose age is null. Can you write a query for me in the chat, please? Write a query for me. I want to get the name of, only name of all the students where age is null. Let me write the question here. Select name of all the students having their age as null. This is the question. Please write the query in the chat box. Select star from student where age equal to null. Select star where age equal to null. Age equal to null. Others, please. I can only see 3 people, 4 people being active. What about other folks? Guys, whomsoever is active here, trust me, you are going to rock in the SQL because at least you are using your mind here. Okay, so let me just write the answer from the chat only. Let me pick any of the answer. I'm just copying it and let me paste it here. Most of you might be thinking this is the correct answer. To be precise, I have given I only want name, so we should not use star. Why we should not use a star? It will give me name, but it will give me some additional columns as well. So whenever we put a star in terms of cost, it is costly. Just keep a note. Whenever we are using a star, it is costlier. Ideally, we should only include those columns which are required in select. So I will only select name first. If I don't require other columns, I will not use a star. Never use a star if you don't require all columns because that is costly. Cool. Then, okay. If I run it, it will fail. Let me run it. Why? Why it failed? Ideally, it should have failed, but it has given me something. Why? Because for null, we don't directly use equal to. Null is never equal to null. Okay. Null is never equal to null. We use is keyword. So where age is null. So I will get the output that, okay, for all these 3 students, age is null. So always keep in mind, whenever you are dealing with null, you should not use equal to. Got it? If you will use equal to, your query is going to fail. So this is one of a trap when most of the people are writing equal to, equal to, equal to. With null as well, they use equal to. But we should not use equal to with null because null is not equal to null. Null is not equal to null in SQL. Keep a note of it. So whenever we want to compare with null, we should use is, not equal to. Got it? And age is same here. Correct. Manja, age and age is same here because in the starting only I said SQL is case insensitive. It is space insensitive, or we can say it is indentation insensitive. We can use any case. In fact, if I will write this complete select in capital, there is no problem. Cool. Now let me do one thing. I said SQL is case insensitive, right? Now tell me, if I write here name equal to John. Wow, it is reading my mind, literally reading my mind. If I write this query, or simply if I put select star here, let's forget about name. Tell me, am I going to get the value associated with John? No. No, no. Why? And okay, if I put it like this, am I going to get the value? Yes, strings are case sensitive. So I have to write John, then only I will get the values associated with John. So SQL is insensitive, case insensitive, but string, okay, J was capital there. Okay. SQL is case insensitive, but whatever the string we are using, that is all. So we are clear till here. We have covered up to the null. So for null, I said we cannot use equal to. Fine. So there is something called as not equal to. There is something called as is not. So let's get into that as well. So let's start from students. Let me run this query. Okay, pura sir execute. Okay. Let me just comment it. So you can comment partial part of your query and run it. So I can see it here. Now I want to get all the students where age is not null. So what I will say, where age is not null. And it will give me all the rows where age is not null. It will give me basically row number 1 and row number 2. Another thing what I can do here, I can write, for example, on age, I wanted to see all the rows where age is not 21. So what I will write, age not equal to 21. So here I am getting only 20. It is not considering null. So whenever we are using not equal to, it will not consider null. We can use this, and I think it should consider null as well. Let's see. Okay, it is also not considering null. So in some languages, if we use this, this is for null safe comparison. And this is also not equal to, and both are not equal to. But one is null safe comparison, one is not null safe comparison. But in Databricks, both are acting in the same way. So here we are not getting the students who are having age as null. So whenever we are using not equal to, we should also use another condition with it, or age is null, so that we can get all the rows which are having null values as well, right? So here we are getting the age having 20 and nulls. So whenever we are writing the query, we should always consider the edge cases of null, because they are complex and most of the time they are missed. Fine, we have covered null, not null. Do you want to continue further, or we can get into these things tomorrow? So I haven't reached up to 50% of my planned lecture. Apologies for it, specifically to Rajiv and Pragati. So advanced level we are not going to cover. Continue. Okay, let me continue for 30 minutes more. Anybody saying something?
I was telling that if some questions are left, they can type in the WhatsApp.
Okay, so let's get into, we have already covered this much. So guys, you are going to get this notebook. Feel free to use it according to your need. and solve all these questions. These are not directly what I have solved here. Here you have to use a category table. So we will be also providing you the solution, and we will be also providing you the question notebook. So use both of them. It would be very much helpful for you to practice this. All right. So let me just get into the questions. Fine. Ordering I missed. Have I missed ordering? Starting. Okay. No problem, guys. Let's get into it. Fine. Let me just look at my plan, guys. Give me a moment. Okay. Okay. Sorry, my bad. All right. So let me just get into this question. So here what it says, name starts with M. Okay, let's get into the student table again. And let's insert one data for me. I'm a student. Insert into student values, roll number 10, name is 𝗙𝗂𝗏, age is 25, and let's suppose this enrollment date is this. Okay. Now I want to know there are how many students in my class. Okay. Before getting into that, let's first get into the example of constant. So let's suppose I wanted to know how many rows are there in my student table. Okay. So most of the time we need to understand how many rows are there in our table. And for that, we can't query and we can't see all the rows, right? So we do one query which is called as select count star. It will give me how many total number of rows are there. It will show how many students are there. So total 6 students are there in my table. So count star is a very important DQL command which we use to get to the number of how many rows we have. Of course, we can change the count star from student, like we can put some filters like where age is not null. We can do all sort of conditioning here and get the values, right? Now, in the student table, if I would see the student table, it has one new record for 𝗏𝗁. Perfect. Now I want to know how many students are there in student table whose name starts with J. I don't want to know whose name is John. I don't want to know whose name is Jane. I don't want to know whose name is John. I want to know how many students are there whose name starts with J. Okay. So for all these type of queries, we use like keyword. Okay. For like, what we will do after like, the pattern is like for, so how to use the like? First of all, we will use the where keyword, then the column name, then the like keyword, then we will put single quotes. Then we will, if we want to compare first part of the string, then we will use percentage, and then we will put the last part. So if I would run it, let me just do start here. If I will run it, it will show me 𝗙𝗁. Because percentage is here, so percentage is wildcard character. It will take any character and show me the output. So any name which has P in the end, it will show them. It is showing me 𝗙𝗁. Let's suppose if I put J in the front and I put percentage in the end, it will show all the names which are starting with J. We can use it one more way. If I put percentage in both of the sides, and if I put O inside this, it will compare any string which contains O and have different characters in its left and right. So it will give me John. Got it? So we can use like keyword in multiple patterns with single quotes, percentage, and then character, or in fact not single character. You can also give a combination of characters. Here you can see it will give me John. Okay, OH should be here. My bad. Because ON there is nothing. Yeah, it has given me 3 rows. So there are 3 patterns with like. First is like with character at the end. Second is like with character in the front. No, wildcard character in the end. Here I can say character, and wildcard is at the end. Third is wildcard character in between. Percentage, then character, then percentage. Is it clear, or do you want me to repeat? Is it clear, or do you want me to repeat? Clear. Okay. So clear has 3 patterns, and this is percentage is called as wildcard character. Okay. And we always use it with like. And sometimes what I miss personally, let me tell you, what I do sometimes, I think without like, I just put equal to, and I suffer. It doesn't give me the correct output. In fact, it does not give me any output. So always, if you are using this wildcard character, make sure to use like keyword. Fine. So it ends with S. Okay. Display all student names. Just solve this query, guys. Answer it in the chat. Name where ends with S. Just answer it in the chat box. S. Others, please do answer. Okay. So Manja and Sahil has given the correct answer. This is absolutely correct. We are going to write it like this only. Now we have covered the like keyword in the filter conditions. Now let's say there is a table which has so many rows, hundreds, thousands of rows. Okay. And I want to just see a sample of it. I don't want to get to all the rows. I just want to see the sample of it. So if I want to only get 2-3 rows, what I will do, I will write select star from students. Then I will write limit. Of course, we have only 6 rows, so let me just write limit 2. So it will randomly pick any of those, any 2 rows from the table, and it will show me. This is for sampling. Whenever we want to do a eyeball check how the data looks like for some other queries and something, we put limit, because if we don't put limit, there are so many of rows and it will keep on processing and giving us the output. So it's better to keep the limit for just for sampling purpose. If you will put limit, it will pull out any random record. Whatever it has fetched early, quickly, it will just show that out. In some other databases, instead of this limit, we use top. Select top 2 star from student. This won't work here, but in some databases, we write like this. If I'm not wrong, that is MySQL only. Yeah. So in MySQL, we write like this, and here we like this. So these are some minor differences which you can see inside the different versions of data warehouses and databases. So first 12 rows, then I want, okay, let me just again query my favorite student table. So start from student. Okay. You notice 𝗙𝗂𝗏 with roll number 1, roll number 10 is coming at the top. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 again. Now, I want to get all these students ordered. I want the register to be in roll number order. Okay, so let's suppose you are a class teacher of a class. You are taking attendance. You won't call roll number 10, then roll number 1, then roll number 2, then roll number 3, then again roll number 3. You won't do like this, right? I want them to be ordered. So in order to do ordering in SQL, we have a keyword called as order. So what I will do, I will select, of course, I can select star, I can select any column. Let me just select name first and then roll number. You can do this. There is no problem. Number from student, order by. So order by is a keyword, right? Now I'm giving the roll number. Forget about the ESC. And I will run it. So by default, whenever we do order by, it will always order it on basis of ascending order. Ascending orders means increasing number. First it will give first, then it will give second, it will give 3, it will give 3, it will give 4, it will give 5. If you want to even explicitly specify it should be ascending order, use the keyword ASC. ASC stands for ascending. So it will give you outputs in ascending order by default, and even if you use the ascending order keyword. Now, if I want them to be in descending order, I can simply write DTSC and it will work. It will give me 𝗙𝗂𝗏 with roll number 10 at the top. Now, there is another use case. Since this is a date column, I want students to be ordered based on their enrollment date. Fine, let me just do that. So here, instead of order by roll number, I will write enrollment date. And student will be ordered on the basis of enrollment date. Let me just pull enrollment date as well here. So students with date of 2nd January will come first. So here, the students with the 2nd January are coming first. Now, I want to order them first. First, I want, okay, let's keep it like this. 3. Okay. So first, I want to order them on the basis of enrollment date. So whomsoever has taken attendance earlier, they should, admission earlier, they should come first. Fine. After that, I want them to be ordered on basis of their roll number. So I would write here roll number Let's consider at ASC. Notice here. So here, as of now, the result is like roll number 3 is coming here. Then we have roll number 10 coming here. Now, if I will order it on the basis of roll number as well, first it will order on the basis of enrollment date. Then it will start ordering these 3. Sorry, 4. So this John will come at first. Then Harshit will go at last. Let's see. Okay, this was it should be DESC. Harshit will go at last. Yeah. So all the students with enrollment later enrollment came first. मतलब जिन लोगों ने last में admission लिया, they came first. After that, all the students which are having roll numbered order. Sorry. So after that, we will get the students on the basis of their roll number. So we can do order by on multiple columns, and we can even not specify the order like ASC, DSC, and we can just give the order at the end. Cool. So both of them will be ordered in ascending order only. If I will give DESC here, then enrollment date would be ordered in ascending order, but roll number will be ordered in descending order. So whatever this keyword we are giving with the column name, that is associated with that specific column. Clear हुआ? Is it clear? Order by. Perfect. So apart from Samiksha, I'm not hearing from anyone if this is clear. If you guys want me to repeat, just say, I would repeat it. Okay, clear. Thanks. So we have studied about the order by, and we have ordered it on the basis of ascending. We have ordered it on the basis of descending. We have used multiple columns in the ordering. Now, for the intermediate questions, I think let's take up them later. So home pattern you will be able to match. For this numbering, we have to use some count keyword. We will take that later. Names either in electronic books or fashions, we will be able to use that. Just you need to use in and then list as we have done for the roll number, and you will be able to do that. Then not in electronics, name not in. So similarly, what we have studied above, select star from students, their roll number, not in. Then I'm in the list if you want to give what to. Or not electronics, so simply where name does not equal to electronics. Combined condition display. Okay, let's take something for combined conditions. I think we have already taken, but let's take something again. So here I want to get the students from the student table whose age is null and their enrollment date is 1st of January. So notice here, I have put a single where clause. After it, I have used and keyword. So you must know the Boolean concepts, right? So here, this will get evaluated and it will return the output. So for multiple conditions inside the where clause, we use and for either or, we use or. Okay, let's suppose I want students whose roll number is null or their enrollment date is 0101. It's not necessary that their roll number should be null. Any of these conditions should be true. So I will use or keyword. If you want both of the conditions to be true, you should use AND keyword. If you want any of these conditions to be true, you should use OR keyword. Clear? Multiple conditions inside the where clause. And I can even put some other condition as well. And roll number should be less than 1, less than 5. So this is less than and greater than symbol we can use. Are you clear with multiple conditions inside the where clause? I can't see a single yes here. Okay, yeah. Thanks, Amiksha. Thanks, Arya. Cool. We have covered so far this. After, between. I think we can take this tomorrow. Limit and offset, we will take this tomorrow. So that's all for today. Let me just quickly share one poll for you folks. I want to hear the answer from you all. So I'm sharing the link, guys. Please answer it. I would respect your genuine feedbacks. Six votes so far. Guys, any feedback, just share in the chat. If you want, you can unmute yourself as we are done with this session for today. One more poll, please. I am seeing only 7-8 responses, and we have 15 people in the yesterday. Manjay, okay, I will try to bring it slow. Actually, the content is too much, and we have committed to solve everything in just 1 week, so it's quite tough to cover up the things at a slow pace. But yeah, thanks for your feedback. I will try to